सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। पूज्य माँ भगवती, पूज्य Sri Arvind, you all present here are chosen children, and those who are still listening elsewhere outside are also the chosen children of our Divine Mother, because knowingly or unknowingly we are made to collaborate in this divine experiment, de novo new experiment, de novo spirituality, and simply speaking, de novo consciousness, de novo time, de novo space. Consciousness is energy, energy is consciousness. Consciousness is the purest form of energy, unlimited form of energy, infinite form of energy, multi-facet form of energy, and absolute real form of energy, the genuine form of energy, that is totality. There is no imperfection, there is no deviation, there is no any unrealistic false reality therein. It is the absolute Sat Chit Anand. It is the absolute Om Tat Sat, and it is the absolute Paratpar Parabrahma. These are all things which during the human life pass together by mother in human body here and Sri Aurobindo in human body here on the earth. The true and genuine meaning of symbolic verses of Vedas interpreted, demonstrated, assimilated, and put into action of this imperfect relativity as yoga by Sri Aurobindo and the Mother are all the treasure at the disposal of Mother when she is mandatorily asked to pass through this new adventure. So there is no apparent external indication, guidance or intimation she might be receiving from any other source excepting the source of the perfection. Sri Aurobindo's supramental body is for Mother the bridge between her divinity hidden at the cellular level and the divinity supreme, purest and absolute at the absolute level as Shiv Shakti. Shiv means essence of the existence, and Shakti means the absolute consciousness, Sri Aurobindo defines it to be superconscient. The existence of superconscient is above, and the same existence of superconscient at the cellular level is the divinity hidden in the shell. And that is the purest form of divinity. So that is to be so assimilated, the dots have to be so collected and connected that it becomes the master pattern. They are dots, but the pattern from all dots are to be connected in such a way that the pattern becomes the absolute relativity on the earth. Absolute reality is there, invisible, non-transfigured, non-embodiment, not put into the process of embodiment, not manifested in toto. That is what mother's experiment, and that experiment is completely experienced by the mother, but all alone. Nobody was there to participate with the mother, and nobody was there to supervise the mother, nobody was there to collaborate with the mother. And that was predicted by Sri Aurobindo quite well in advance, that my yoga is a journey from alone to alone. Sri Aurobindo had to go alone to the supreme, to the supramental, is not the only indication. But when supramental will descend down on the earth, after that even mother also has to go all alone, when Sri Aurobindo also would not be there in physically to guide mother or to ask mother to execute this in this new pattern of relativity. And that is what mother, her what we call crucial riddle, her absolutely new problem for manifesting the absolute reality into the form of absolute relativity. So very first body, Sri Aurobindo received it directly from the Supreme as mind of light, but mother has to manage how to operate that mind of light into relativity. So relativity is a demonstration of the mind of light, that is supramental, once embodied by Sri Aurobindo and was transmitted to her. But the design, the manifestation, the entire world, entire universe, the new world is to be born, but who is to give birth to this new world? So mother has to be the world mother to give new birth to the world universally, and to give new birth to individual supramental body also individually. So you can imagine the two different dimensions to be manifested simultaneously, individual and universal from absolute. So the creation that was made in whatever mode of methodology, in whatever mode of system, in whatever mode of determinism, intention, whatever it might be, but that is not known to the human mind up till now. It was beyond the existence of human mind. It was beyond the existence of human body. It was beyond the existence of this humanity on the earth or the life on the earth. Before matter came into existence from the consciousness. So what might have happened at that time is thoroughly a darkness. It was totally dark. Nothing was there. It was the hour before the gods awake. It was before awakening. Awakening is a light. Awakening is a consciousness. Awakening is a lamp lit, unlit temple. Word used by Sri Aurobindo, unlit temple. The entire universe was unlit temple at that time. Universe was not there is not the case. Universe was there. It was totally invisible, not non-existing. The entire vacuum of darkness was the stuff, was the quality of superconscient, was the quality of the infinity, was the quality of Satchidanand, was the quality of Varam Rupam Jyoti. But how it came into existence, how it became world, how it became universe, and how evolution took place billions and billions and billions of years ago was still a riddle for the mother to create the same, create the new, create the de novo, materialize the universe from directly from the supramental. That is not simply to accelerate the evolution, but to create the new light, to create the new world, to create the new consciousness, and using that new consciousness as divine stuff, the new world is to be born. New world is to be made to manifest, where three different dimensions of Prakriti are to be invoked. Instead of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, Sat, Chit and Anand are to be materialized on the earth in the world of imperfect relativity of E is equal to mc square. So new photon, new atom, new molecule, new Higgs boson, or whatever it is, named or not named up till now, has to be brought into visible existence by this world mother. So she will have to work at the atomic level, and she will have to work at the universal level as world mother, and offering her own body as a very sound pedestal for receiving this new force, receiving this new light, receiving this new consciousness from the Absolute. It's a very indescribable experiment. It is very inexpressible experiment, but it is the experiment. Mother was also uncertain at certain stages whether would be done or not. But at the moment Sri Aurobindo appeared before mother in his supramental body and guides mother that this is how it can be executed. Lord, thou shalt wilt and I execute was the prayer offered to Sri Aurobindo when both were in human body. They were experimenting divinity. Living in human body was the challenge, already overcome by both of them in presence of both of them here on the earth. So the spot, the little plot where this experiment was launched was the unique space and unique individual body accepted by the Supreme Divine through Lord Krishna, through perfection of absolute consciousness on earth in one human body. That was the last incarnation of Srimad Bhagavat. That is Purna Purushottam Paramatma in human body. So Purna Purushottam Paramatma, Lord Krishna, became bridge for supramental to descend down on the earth as per the master prayer, master act and king idea of Sri Aurobindo. And when it was so accomplished, the new world, the new supramental world was to be created, and the accountability as such was entirely given to Mother alone, because she is the world mother. Once she had created, we know, once she had created the overmental consciousness in materialized universe. After 24th of November 1926, but Sri Aurobindo at that time asked mandatorily Mother to disperse that universe. Why? Because Mother was consciously and fully known. Sri Aurobindo was fully consciousness of the life mission that was given to him in this birth. His psychic was so aware about the appropriate experiment that he has been assigned in this birth. It is supramental descent was the experiment, was the assignment, was the avatar karya that was given to Sri Aurobindo's psychic in this birth, and was confirmed in 1909 by Lord Krishna. So we have to all assimilate different practical, historical, realistic events, all divine events already taken place in the life of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother together, in order to understand the final and ultimate stage of this new play, new Leela of the Supreme, to be executed on this imperfect materialized universe. This is the background where it is to be so connected and conducted. So the new creation is to be operated here on the earth, nor in that absolute Vaikunth, Golokdham, Akshardham, paradise, heaven, whatever it is. Here on the earth, this new programming is to be launched, and that is why the riddle only faced by riddle to be faced by the Mother all alone. So Mother is also afraid of executing this totality on the earth, because earth was at the time of Sri Aurobindo's demise, at the time of Sri Aurobindo's departure, was not ready. The same earth is not ready even during the time of Mother also, when she started executing it. It's a kind of generalized fear ingrained in matter, like a memory or a regret of the happy, quiet inertia of the stone. Life is a calamity to that inertia, a threat, a constant danger. At that time, Mother faced this danger. How to execute it? We as ordinary human beings, passing through ordinary riddles and sufferings and difficulties, prior to facing the new challenges, we start experiencing the tremendous, unbearable and unconquerable fear. So divine also had to undergo the same fear, because divine had to be fully manifested on the earth, being human. So humanity and divinity to be coexisted here on the earth. So the characteristics of humanity are to be overcome, and characteristics of divinity are to be launched. You can see how two programmings are to be simultaneously conducted, and is a very powerful challenge up till now, born by any creator, any incarnation, any vibhuti, any godly and divine personality up till now came down on the earth. Life is a calamity to that inertia. That was the inertia living in the human body of the mother too. Inertia is there in the universe. But when mother started enhancing her own orbit, enhancing her own horizons, mother has to accept the inertia of the universe. Up till now it was in the another world. Now it is in the inner world of the mother, where she is required to face all of them. If you open your window, so definitely the fragrance or a dirty smell, any type of climate, any type of environment outside has the scope to enter into our private premises. Similarly, the inertia of the universe has got scope to enter into the human body of the mother. And when mother started divinizing her body, finding out the mind of the cells, the challenge automatically arises within the body. And the reflection of what is going on as conflict within the body outside also reflected, and mother has to tackle the universe outside emerging and the universe inside also emerging. It is the keeper of the law of death. It is the keeper of the law of. Mother has to play the role, the keeper of the law of death, and to conquer it. Keeper of the law of mortality is to be conquered. But the keeper of the law of mortality also is being operated side by side within the body, within the cells. So it is unimaginable task, but mother patiently, ardently, realizing her unique position in this universe, in this birth, faced it so successfully. It is the gospel of death from A to Z. The ultimate example of that creature's doing is found in a person afflicted with the uncontrollable trembling of Parkinson's disease. Second time, mother uses the word Parkinson. Every cell is shaking up. Every cell is shaking up. Whether to accept this new velocity, whether to accept this new infinity, whether to accept this new divinity, whether to accept this new consciousness or not. A tremendous weight of uncertainty was to be borne by each and every cell of the human body of the mother, and that too, psychic of the mother in human body was watching the new play of infinite. Play of infinite was hidden up till now to the level of this present evolution. But now new evolution is to be created, new dynamism is to be created, new reality and relativity to be created, but created so simultaneously that limited mind can look to new world as new relativity, but unlimited mind, over mind or super mind can look to this new relativity as a de facto reality which was invisible there is made visible on this earth. That type of new world is to be created by mother, and mother faced that problem, who tries desperately to take a step forward. Still, mother decided to take one step further, which was the step up till now not undertaken by any of the incarnations previously existed on this earth. Trips and tries again. Mother decided, try and try again. Not to give up the experiment doesn't matter. It seems to be a failure. It seems to be a fiasco. It seems to be a misadventure, but has to be taken up, because it is the Lord who assigned to her to execute this new world after she created the over-mental consciousness, over-mental world after 1926. You can't do it. You see, you can't walk. Mother looks to her body. Mother looks to her mortal body and say, my body so weak, so aging, so incompetent. I cannot walk. How can I do it? You can't do it. And the voice from the inner inertia of individuality and inner inertia of the universe revolted against her. You can't do it. You can't do it. It is impossible. It is impossible. Similar is the case Sri Aurobindo symbolically presented in the final stage of the Yatra of pilgrim Ashwapathy. This is the final stage of Ashwapathy. This is the final stage of psychic therapy. This is the final stage of new therapy that can evoke the inner divinity by the divinity of the practitioner. And who is practitioner here? Who is executing this new therapy for the world? Mother is the new therapist. And new therapy is the therapy of Ashwapathy. So Ashwapathy is to be brought on the earth as new relativity, new consciousness and new world. Ashwapathy also heard no at that time. In the very presence of World Mother, now in the very presence of the Supreme Lord, Sri Aurobindo in the supramental body, the World Mother also had to face the voice of this inertia as no. No, it is not possible. See, symbolically it was predicted in Savitri, practically and scientifically, supra-scientifically it is being executed by Mother in her own room. How that yoga was put into practice. If Satprem had not written this explanation, whatever type of explanation it might be, the world would have lost a tremendous treasure what Sri Aurobindo and Mother did in their human life in this birth. You cannot do it. You see, you can't walk until the person is fixed once and for all. It's job to fix. It is the job, hard job, very task. Sri Aurobindo says in Savitri, depicts in Savitri this stage as adventure of consciousness. Adventure of the consciousness fully awakened psychic in human mortal body of the Mother has to face this risk, had to face this new adventure and had to undergo this adventure and make this experiment of new existence successful. Its job is to fix, and so we realize the fantastic hypnotic power of that physical mind. And there we can understand and we can, Satprem writes, we can realize that what a hypnotic power exists, pre-existing in the shell, and that is the mind of the shell. The word mind is there as part of the nomenclature, but we people, human beings, can understand only the divinity in the form of mind. We cannot understand and we cannot assimilate with our little logic the existence and the spark of divinity if it is there. So it is mind that is the word used by Sri Aurobindo and Mother both, and Mother understands the spark of divinity at atomic level as the mind of the shells. Physical mind, it takes all our mental bustle above for us not to notice the omnipotence of the infinitesimal whisperer. In fact, it is the field of operation of all professional healers and hypnotists, all professional healers, all professional therapists. This is the master therapy, psychic therapy, therapy of consciousness, therapy of the temporary transmission of consciousness is the real therapy to get the humanity of any sort, of any country, of any level to be free from death and disease. So it is death and disease both are going simultaneously, because disease is a bridge to make death visible on the earth. If root is to be rooted out, then no question of growing up there. Death will not be allowed to grow in human cells. Death is not to be allowed to grow in the human framework. Death is to be rooted out, so possibility for any such deterioration in the name of disease is to be rooted out, and this is the master therapy of Savitri, to root out the death launched by the mother in this way in her later part of the life. Operation of all professional healers, when they are able to prevent you from feeling a pain, say, which would have you screaming otherwise, or when they make you do impossible, it appears to be impossible to mother too, but still, on the strength of her faith, on the strength of her surrender to the Lord, she continued. Only Satprem was the eyewitness. That they contradict all the cannots, they abolish for a moment the physical mind. People living outside the world might suspend this possibility, doesn't matter. Mother all alone conducted this programming in spite of all different reactions coming to her from outside. Doctors also act on the physical mind, sometimes to cure an illness. Doctors also act on the physical mind. Even present practitioners, medical practitioners, they also give up that type of body which is beyond their medical practice, beyond their knowledge of medical science, beyond their knowledge of medical therapy. They also sometimes give up that type of body to its own destiny. That is what doctors at present are also doing. Let your destiny work. And sometimes destiny works, and without any application of medical therapy and medicine, patient can be automatically cured, provided he is confident and is full of inner willpower. Now let it be generalized as general therapy, and that is why Sri Aurobindo had given this yoga the nomenclature of Aswapathi. It is a pathi, it is a therapy, it is yoga, it is real way of living, it is the divine way of living, superior to the way of living based on Sanatan Dharma at present. So new way of living is to be brought on the earth as supramentalized world as life divine. So this is the preamble to the life divine, how it is launched by the world mother for all of us to enter into this new zone of existence.